9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's wrestling network on the planet.
What's up, good people? Happy Monday. I am back. I had to finish up some work, and now we're almost at the top of the second hour of Monday Night Raw. I'll let you guys fill in the chat. Let me know what I missed, but I was watching in the background while I finished some stuff. Looks like we got our first challenger for our world champion, Jey Uso, and it's going to be Logan Paul. Pretty sure everybody's very excited about that. Looks like our first protagonist to whatever we're calling this faction with Seth, Braun, and the Wise Man is Sami Zayn. And from the gist of it, they told Sami Zayn to get down or lay down. So Seth still got love for Sami. He's like, hey, this ain't nothing like the bloodline. Let's work together. If not, then I'm pretty sure they're going to put Sami down later tonight. We got Rhea Ripley versus Roxanne Perez, which was ended in a DQ with some help from Julia, which I don't understand the Roxanne Julia pairing whatsoever. If anybody wants to take a stab at that in the chat, let me know why they're doing that. I think it's to help continue ease Roxanne into the United States side of things, but that pairing makes no sense whatsoever as a tag team, and it really does a disservice to Roxanne if you're asking me. But looks like that's what they're doing. Io Sky came out and made the save for Rhea, and we know they got their little thing going on, so I'm pretty sure we'll get a matchup there while Bianca's taking time out off to heal some broken fingers that she suffered at WrestleMania. Right now, we're in the midst of the War Raiders taking on the Judgment Day. Seemingly, whoever wins this match will probably be up in line for a tag team title shot against the New Day, who's waiting at ringside. Finn, obviously shocked by him being demoted back to the tag team division. Probably didn't like that, even though he's teaming up with his bestie, JD. So we'll see what happens here, but happy Monday, y'all. How's everybody feeling? What's up, Amanadu? What's up, Lewis? What's up, Tanya? Yeah, it's been an interesting hour of Monday Night Raw thus far. Pretty sure you're going to get Braun Breaker spearing Sami Zayn at some point tonight. I don't think anybody asked for Logan Paul and Jey Uso, but hey, and I really want to understand. I get Roxanne being called up right now. Makes perfect sense. I think if you would have had her just go against Lyra off top, since she defeated Lyra for the NXT title and started that second run, but we're doing the whole let's ease Julia into here, and I think Julia she's still working on getting over in NXT, so maybe you just want to get her name in front of the main roster audience early. But I just feel like she sticks out in a way where it's like people are probably like, okay, well, why should Rhea Ripley care about this character? Why should Rhea Ripley be afraid of this person? And it's not going to do her any favors. I know we still got to hear from Becky Lynch. We're still going to have Ivy Nile versus Stephanie Bakur. Very interesting program right now. If you're internationally, where we don't do commercials and ads, can anybody tell me what the A-Town Down Under segment was that WWE just posted on socials? Is it just Grayson Waller trolling Kansas City with Philly talk? Okay, Sindel, yeah, just trolling. It's a shame that we don't have a way to actually see those things here in the States, but said we just get ads. But what did everybody think about the first hour of Raw? Did you guys like the matchup between Roxanne and Rhea? Did you feel like their pairing made sense in ring? Seems like this is the time of year where we're just going to get a lot of stuff thrown at the wall and see what sticks until we get an official draft. I did see everybody in Judgment Day talking about getting gold, and Carlito kind of had a, if you want to call it like a look at the camera, breaking the fourth wall moment, talking about he wants to get gold. Carlito should cross the line in TNA. I can go for some Carlito versus Joe Hendry right now, or if he went for an NXT title. And I forgot one thing. Apparently, we're going to hear Pat McAfee's thoughts on everything that took place last week. If Gunther choked out Pat and Pat is still here, we're not really selling or milking the injury thing. God, do we really want to have a backlash? We're going to have Gunther taking on Pat McAfee. Who wants to see that? Okay, Sindel, you're saying that it's like a massive. What's the word I want to look for? You're looking at it in a positive light, saying that two of the three biggest women in the company, they're kind of trusting them to be with them. Sure, I can look at it that way. I'm just thinking like in storyline wise, pigeonholing Roxanne and Julia in a tag team, I don't know if it does them any favors long term. That was a dope swag. Bring back the Cruiserweight title and the JD McDonough Cruiserweight World Tour. That's the thing. I don't think Roxanne needed an alliance at all. If anything that we've seen, especially WrestleMania being what it is, they really got to invest into the tag team divisions and like sincerity. Women's tag team titles too. The real tag teams weren't done any justice, and then you just had the TLC match on Friday, which everybody loved and says it should have been on WrestleMania. So like, why are we doing all these makeshift pairings of what should be established single stars? Maybe that's a way to write Pat McAfee's character off for a while and put him in a match with Gunther. I don't know. Could be. I don't know what his schedule is like that would prevent anything. We're far away from the football season. Not them selling the headbutt. Not them selling that with McDonough. Okay. They cost Penta against Dom last week. Penta's costing them. So if Penta got beef with the Judgment Day, we might be an inch closer to a Lucha Bros reunion on WWE programming. Yeah, it's natural for the War Raiders and New Day to kind of have like a best of series. And New Day kind of skated out of Mania real fast with the belts. Penta just gonna style on them like that? New Day now have 13 title reigns, and I thought Mania after Raw after Mania would have led to something more with the Big E stuff, but it still hasn't. So I don't know what the long play is there for them just being heels. Paul pulling up on Sammy. Okay. In sincerity, Sami Zayn has no reason not to take that offer. He'll get a title shot instantly just by going to SmackDown. He might get drafted to SmackDown anyway. So we'll hear from Becky Lynch next. So a lot of people who think that, oh, she's a part of the faction, has anything to do with that, I'm pretty sure it'll be debunked in a few minutes. What do I think about if Julie and Roxanne go up full time? Well, there's nothing left for Roxanne to do in NXT. She's held the championship twice. She's carried the division. She's been in the focal point. She's been on the chase. Unless they want her to win it a third time, there's nothing there for her to do. Julia, I think there's a lot she can do there, and maybe her piggybacking off Roxanne to get some notoriety on the main roster a little bit kind of helps. She has one NXT title reign. I think you can probably do something with Julia in the North American title picture, or at least getting a one-on-one rematch against Stephanie before her getting called up. But I think it does allow space for everybody else. There's so many women in NXT that deserve an opportunity. Like, we still have Jada Parker. I mean, we're going to be doing Jordan Grace and Stephanie, and of course Soul. I feel like Kalani's story is kind of going into the nonchalant side. Has kind of been thwarted a little bit. They brought Nikita Lyons back, gave her some wins, and now she's been on ice. I have to believe they want to do something with Lola, just from what I see on the socials and how much she's doing work in NXT in Orlando. There's so many women waiting in the wings, and then especially from the ladder match, you think about like Izzy Dame. I'm pretty sure she's going to be the breakout star of the culling, and they want to feature her more. Like, the longer Roxanne specifically stays in NXT, it kind of puts a glass ceiling over everybody else, especially like Cora Jade. That's another one. It's good that they gave Julia the accolade at the beginning of the year. I feel like she has maybe until she has to get her one-on-one rematch with Stephanie before being like a full-time call-up. Like, maybe like around summertime is when we can forget about Julia being in NXT. Zarya needs something. Yeah, that's another person who kind of got forgotten. And I can see why Soul became the champion at Stand and Deliver, because she was kind of like a breakout star. And then she did really well in the first inaugural match last year, but they went with Kalani. But the tag team pairing they had with Zarya and Soul was great. It still is great. The content they were making is great. I think we really could have had them vie for the tag titles in TNA or in WWE, and it would have been fine doing that for a while. They kind of cut their legs by making Soul the North American Women's Champion. Because it kind of makes Zarya a sidekick. What's up, Courtney? I don't know where Bianca falls. I know there's going to be a draft, but she's also taking time off because of the broken fingers. Okay. So the graphics here kind of contribute to the big time Beck stuff she was doing. So maybe it is heel. And I can tell you right now, Becky came back just for a mid card title run. Like, she's no better than Charlotte if she does that. I mean, I can kind of see her trying to elevate Lyra, because she helped a lot with helping out Lyra in NXT. But like, Bird Lady would have to go over. Would have to. So that's where we're going with this. We're going with Becky versus Bailey, and Becky was the one to attack Bailey, so just mad at Bailey for no reason. Bailey been on a different character arc since WrestleMania last year, since leaving Damage Control. We just, hey, I haven't forgiven you. Somebody in the chat help make sense of this for me, because just having random smoke for Bailey for the past year, when it was not Alexa, when it was Liv that you had your last match with that sent you home, makes no sense. Guys, this is the first time Lyra's had a live mic like in the arena since she's been on Raw. Yeah, Becky's back to help Lyra get over with the audience. Oh, okay. You got a lot of people saying using a better wrestler trope. I can't even front. This is going to make people care about Lyra a lot and this Intercontinental title. where Lyra wins or Becky wins, if it's a back and forth, it's going to make people more invested in the storyline and put the Intercontinental on the same trajectory that Chelsea put the U.S. title on. I feel like they're the same weekends, and no, they're not the same weekend. Saturday Night Main Event is the same weekend as No Mercy, so Backlash has to be the following week. So I think it's probably Memorial Day weekend we have Backlash. Because Saturday Night Main Event, No Mercy, Double or Nothing are all the same weekend, which is like that 24th, 25th. So I think Backlash might even be like 30th or 31st. Backlash is the beginning of May? Okay. You tell me if, man, Stephanie and Julie don't got the same airport test. This could be trying to draw more people to the CW as well. I don't know if Boza's in here, but I wonder if the ratings have kind of been like kind of and they're trying to make sure their stars, people know who their stars are on the CW. Because now we got Stephanie, Julia, Roxanne on Raw back-to-back weeks. Trick Williams showed up for Joe Hendry at TNA Rebellion last night. I can see that too, Sindel. Especially with Bianca being hurt. Yeah, I think Naomi's pressing the issue on that storyline on social, so we'll probably get a continuation of that with Jade. Just curious why they haven't announced a draft yet. That makes sense. The backlash May 10th, and the draft has to come like right after that. Then see, even if Julia does get Rock's probably is booked for a full time call, but even if they did that with Julia because Bianca's out, there's so many women backstage they could use. Like, not even trying to be goofy about it, but like what Natalia's doing in cross promotion. I mean, what Zoe's doing on socials with the whole censorship gimmick. I mean, they can be giving that stuff more TV time. Rusev promo. Rusev said the thing. We're getting the Redeemer gimmick. No, I'm not even joking about the Natalia thing. Like the thing that she's doing right now, not relying on the pink and black, not relying on being a heart. Uh talking like the low key legend, the boxing robe, the technician, like that type of stuff. There's a place for that because there's nobody else that does that on the roster. Why not highlight it? Like, why not highlight her the way they used to highlight Ronda, where Ronda's just tapping everybody out? It just makes sense to have that somewhere. I think in NXT Fraxon was winning so much that you got to a point where you had to let them move on. Like you gave Hank and Tank their moment, and you want to like let the tag division move forward. I wouldn't be surprised if I didn't catch NXT last week, but I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a return of Gallus soon in NXT. Evolve is Evolve is like pre-recorded though, right? Like so it was like that was done a while ago. And no Booker T to get this off. Shame. It depended on Booker being in the mood when Devil's Kiss happened. Have to wonder with them bringing so many guys up and in which guys are getting taken off TV because that men's roster looks mighty dense right now. For NXT, I think with NXT you still got options because the TNA crossover. It seems like they're going to do at their next big show. I wouldn't be surprised if Joe Hendry is defending the TNA title against Trick Williams at No Mercy because Joe Hendry, I'm pretty sure he had his first NXT match at No Mercy last year. So that'll probably be a match. You might run Oba and Javon in the singles. You'll have Tony D'Angelo and Stacks for like control of the family. I don't know who Hank and Tank will face. No idea. Are you sure it's Battleground? Pretty sure Battleground is a June PLE. Shit, is it Battleground? Yeah, Battleground Tampa. Just see it now. Okay. Battleground was in June last year. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they'll do Oba versus Javon in the singles. How'd you guys fantasy book Battleground, y'all? I'm thinking you get Soul and Jada. I don't know who takes on Stephanie unless it's Jordan. Maybe Jordan in a one-on-one. Whew. I like that, Boza. Trick versus Joe versus Oba versus Javon. So the same match, except you're interjecting Joe Hendry. Now, is it winner take all for both titles? Because that's where it can get intriguing. I do like the idea of Soul and Zarya versus Liv and Raquel, but that is, and I think Soul has to defend the title on this card. I think she has to have her first title defense. Oh, okay. Separate matches. Okay. I don't think that's ever happened before in WWE. Three belts at well, maybe it has, but three belts at one time. Has anybody been following Speed on Twitter? They be having some unique matchups on Speed. I'll be seeing it in passing, but I haven't watched a full match in a while. How much of it is them promoting the NXT Women's Championship and Stephanie Bakura to the Raw audience versus how much of it is like Stephanie can have a good match with anybody on the women's roster? Because I'm starting to think it's just like you don't get bad matches out of Stephanie, and it helps highlight the women's roster in a high level. Like Stephanie's so damn fluid in the ring that it's like, okay, you're gonna get the most out of her counterpart. Forgot about Saints. Yeah, Saints will have to do. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. I thought that Noam Dar won the Heritage Cup last week in his return. Did he not? They need to retire the Heritage Cup. It's just there. Just bring back the cruiserweight title. But Noam is nice without it. Like it makes his gimmick cool, but he's a great wrestler without it. There's Karrion Cross. There we go. Well, let Sammy go to SmackDown. I, for one, am not here for Sami Zayn being back so damn soon. Like he didn't get packed up in Canada at Elimination Chamber. Like I get that we did the whole thing because Kevin is legitimately hurt and having neck surgery. There was no need to bring Sammy back that soon. None. Becky just posted a video saying the weak need to be led. That says a lot. Anybody seen the rumors for these Money in the Bank tickets, or at least the on-pass stuff? Yes, Pat McAfee's about to address Gunther right now. Oh my gosh, we're really about to do this, huh? I don't know, Boza. College football is a long way away. We just got done with the NFL draft. I know they're doing spring practices, spring ball right now. I don't know how much the McAfee show covers that. And maybe they're doing this to take Gunther far away from the world title picture. And maybe he'll be on SmackDown after a draft. But this seems so weird about this for Gunther. He's about to ask for a match with Gunther. Wow. How do we feel about that, guys? The opener for WrestleMania, Jay is geared up for Logan Paul, and Gunther's geared up for Pat McAfee. Wow. All right. I guess, man. When's the last time McAfee was in a match? Was it Austin Theory? Or was it like the Rumble 2 years ago? Looks like we're about to close out the show with Sammy's decision. I knew this. I knew that dumb shit was about to happen. We gotta stop flexing this one punch power, man. Please. Please. Backlash is looking like what, 5 matches? And it's already being headlined by Cena and Orton. Yeah, so that Jay and Logan might be Saturday night main event. Just to space it out a little bit more since Backlash is May 10th. And it looks like they're going to build the storyline between they're going to do Pat and Gunther at Backlash, and they'll need to have Jay on that card as well. If there's a women's match on Backlash, it'll probably be Tiffany and Nia. That's a good call. I can see Becky versus Lyra being they did, and I'll talk about that earlier today. So Intercontinental Women's title finally gets on the PLE. Whew. When Bronson Reed come back and we get Rusev versus Bronson Reed, whew. Ain't this the same coat that Ricochet and Swerve was fighting over? Last week we ended Monday Night Raw with what? There was a match. There was the Penta versus Dom, but we did end with a segment, so to speak. We got the reveal. We're ending Raw with another segment. Justin wants Sammy to join them. Troy be having Seth in that shit, man. Look how clean this outfit look. It don't even look that ridiculous. I don't know, Sammy. I would have took the title opportunity. I can go for John versus Sammy after this Randy match for real. I love this presentation of Braun Breaker. This is great. Just as a freaking killer. That is amazing. They are stretching this out, which means there's going to be appearance from somebody. So I feel like I don't think Tribal Chief, but maybe Punk makes the save. They usually go to we usually run to about 7:30. Raw after Mania last week was longer. Fernando, I don't think a match is going to happen. Sammy's not in gear. Oh, okay. Never mind. Sammy going in street clothes. That coat Seth has on is $13,500. Damn. Yeah, if someone needs to get involved, Sammy gonna go right back to the shelf. What if it isn't like Roman or Punk that makes the save? Could there be anybody else that makes the save for Sammy tonight? Somebody from Seth's past? What if it's Jay? Do you think it's beyond Jay to help out Sammy? Yeah, it has been weird, Boza. It's like they're still trying to piece things together. How much is everybody in the chat, all of you guys comment, how much you guys believe that there's like a true power struggle between The Rock and Triple H for creative, that like we're just in this limbo till things are reconciled? Because with what Backlash, main event, that whole weekend, what does Cody do? Is Cody did Cody appear on SmackDown on Friday? Ooh, That was close on Breaker's head, neck. You know what? I'll take a shot in the dark. Cody makes a save. Ain't doing nothing else. Whoo, when we eventually get spear versus spear with Roman. And y'all not gonna like this, but with Braun being a Paul Heyman guy too, and we know somebody got one match left on their contract for the summer, you're gonna get spear versus spear with Goldberg at some point too. It's like I feel like we just saw Kevin Owens take Sami Zayn out a month and a half, tops 2 months ago, and it's like we're seeing this same thing happen again. Why bring Sami back this soon? Seth's not over already, Boza. Like, why do we keep having to do this thing where we need Seth more over than what he is? He has crossover appeal right now. He does stuff with NFL every year, every season. I feel like we got here solely because the final boss thing is not happening. Minus points because he didn't spear him into the prime display. This feels like cheap Monday Night Messiah to me. I didn't hear a bell ring, so are we going to get a pinfall? Okay, there we go. No save. Or is Seth going to stomp Sami? Yeah, he's going to stomp Sami. And here's our lower thirds. All right, man. Let's hit a quick commercial.
This episode of Women's Wrestling Talk has been brought to you by All Caribbean Wrestling. Catch the wave. Go to allcaribbeanwrestling.com to check out all the latest pay-per-views or go on the YouTube page of All Caribbean Wrestling. Also, go and check out their socials on Instagram at All Caribbean Wrestling and on X at All Caribbean WR1.
All right, peeps, we about to go over and recap what we just saw on Monday Night Raw. We just saw the ending, which we saw a slain Sami Zayn at the hands of Braun Breaker and pretty much the exclamation point from Seth Rollins. We actually opened the show with those men as well. We were supposed to get some words to figure out why Seth did what he did, why his vision for wrestling is like this, why he aligned with Paul Heyman. He was interrupted by Sami Zayn, where Sami Zayn's pretty much trying to talk some sense in Raw and say, hey, this isn't you. Feels like you're just having animosity because you're not in the spotlight like Punk and Reigns. He gives Sami an ultimatum, says he wants a decision by later that night. We later see Paul give Sami a choice to go to SmackDown, hands-free, saying that he'll be the next up for a title shot versus the winner versus John and Randy Orton at Backlash for that title, the Undisputed World title. And honestly, outside of kayfabe, I don't know why the fuck Sami doesn't take that. I have no clue. It's a free title shot. You get to go against John in one of his last matches. It just makes sense to me. Our first match of the night was the women's match. We had Rhea Ripley taking on Roxanne Perez. Roxanne Perez kind of making her transition from NXT to Monday Night Raw. Very good match, contrasting styles, power versus more of a technician, a smaller performer. The match got cut short because Julia interfered. And Julia and Roxanne seemingly a pairing right now. If you heard me earlier, I don't get it. I think it kind of is a disservice to Julia as well as Roxanne that they're kind of pigeonholing them together. But EO made the save for Rhea. It seems like we're going to, get some more back and forth with those four ladies while they're kind of transitioning from NXT. Actually, Boza, I think Roxy is confirmed. That patch she had on her leg last week for on her boot for Raw debut, I think it's just like quietly internal that she's Monday Night Raw. Julia, I don't know yet, but I think they're trying to kind of broadcast Julia to the main roster audience while still letting her get her feet wet in NXT and kind of do the style over here in the States. But good overall. I think we're positioning EO as the big star in the women's division right now. We know it's still Rhea Ripley. She probably has the most noticeable airport tests of the women's wrestlers right now. But I think it's good that they're allowing the NXT women to get some shine with two of the biggest stars in the women's division right now. We heard from Logan Paul, and we now know that Logan Paul and Jey Uso is going to be a thing, whether it's at Backlash or whether it's Saturday Night Main Event. Logan Paul said he's done more in the past 2 years than Jey has done in 15. He later took out Jey backstage in the program. I know you guys probably aren't here for that match, but that seems like what's going to happen. I don't know what that's going to look like in the ring. Logan Paul is damn good in the ring. Does he deserve a title shot? Not really. But, I mean, at the same time, he was victorious against AJ Styles at WrestleMania. And by the looks of it, AJ Styles is probably going to be in an Intercontinental title program against Dom. Next up, War Raiders, Judgment Day. Seems like Liv Morgan did some backstage politicking to get the Judgment Day back into the tag team title picture, much to Finn's disgust. So, I mean, we still haven't imploded Judgment Day completely. Like, majority of them have gold with Liv and Raquel, and now Dom being Intercontinental champion. JD McDonough is back. but their match against the War Raiders got spoiled due to Penta coming in and kind of giving them some revenge served cold for costing him against Dom last week. So it should be the War Raiders next up against the New Day, and we're going to keep doing that program while the tag team division continues to kind of try to keep up with the SmackDown tag team roster. We heard from, I guess this is Big Time Bex we're doing again, and probably one of the not weirder segments, but weirder beefs is that she just came out and said there's no spoilers or footage that she attacked Bayley because Bayley has been attacking her since 2019, and Bayley never apologized, even though Bayley's been on a positive career character arc since leaving Damage Control. So we know that Becky had it out for Bayley, but she also said she's disappointed with Lyra and that the friend of her enemy is also her enemy, meaning that Lyra should have never teamed up with Bayley to begin with. Don't know where that smoke comes from, but it's going to lead to a backlash match with Becky taking on Intercontinental Champion Lyra Valkyria. And I think this will be the highest profile match that we've seen in the women's mid card. So I think it'll help elevate the title, whether Becky wins or loses. I'm pretty sure that was also Lyra's first time having a live mic in front of the audience. And she did damn good. That was her probably her best promo backstage in front of the audience to date. It sounded believable. It sounded like she knew who her character was, and that Becky's going to help bring that out of her in front of a live audience. So I'm here for it. I even like the dig that she threw at Bayley saying that she's the better wrestler and that she has no business or doesn't want to be the next Becky Lynch. So I think that's a great program. I'm looking forward to that. We did get some backstage stuff with Chad Gable and Penta. And for the first time, we heard the words Lucha Brothers on Raw. So I think that's something that we'll see in the near future since Rey Fenix took over for Rey Mysterio at WrestleMania and took his first Mania moment and lost to El Grande Americano. And we later saw American Maid's Ivy Now taking on Stephanie Vacour, where she did come up short. Stephanie Vacour, airport test, highlighting not only the women's NXT championship, but also highlighting that she was the first double champ, which I'm pretty sure the councilman will appreciate, the first NXT women's double champ with the North American title as well. Stephanie Vacour has been on a tear. I don't know what's next for NXT. It might be Jordan Grace. It might be a one-off with Cora or Jada Parker. But, I mean, it seems like the WWE can't. I'm pretty sure Shawn Michaels is doing everything he can to keep Stephanie in NXT because she's such a big star, especially with the AAA event coming up. It probably won't be long into the year before Stephanie is finally on the main roster because she puts on a show and a great match everywhere she goes. Like, she just drips and exudes aura. So I don't know why you wouldn't have her be on the main roster tangling up with some of the bigger names in the brand as soon as possible. Cool moment. Miro made his debut last week. We know he's going to take on Otis next Monday. And sorry, not Miro, but Rusev. Rusev had a promo where he said he wants to wipe the locker room clean of people who are not living up to their potential, that he wants to refresh them, and that he would take pride in cleansing them of their impurities. And I'm just paraphrasing there, but it very much sounds like we're getting the Redeemer in WWE. And I think we talked about this on WWT Live maybe like months ago when it broke that he was going to come back. And if he's able to kind of use that character he had in AEW on WWE programming, I think it's going to take him so far. That sounded like it was him at his core. And it's going to be another monster on the main roster we need, especially with we don't know what's going on with Omos. Bronson Reed is out for the foreseeable. I don't know when Jeff Cobb is coming over, but that's great. That's great to have that addition to Monday Night Raw. It looks like I said, AJ Styles is gunning for Dom. We did a Randy Orton segment. We saw Logan Paul take out Jay backstage. We're going to get JD McDonough taking on Penta one-on-one next week, along with Rusev and Otis. And a very strong promo from Pat McAfee. Not going to front. Great, hardworking promo. Said he's sticking up for his friend Michael Cole, who he calls the GOAT, and that he can't allow people to put hands on Michael Cole and just stand aside, which means effective from Nick Aldis that we're going to get Pat McAfee versus Gunther at Backlash, which in the same breath with Logan Paul versus Jay, I don't know if anybody asked for that. I know Pat is very athletic, but me personally, I don't know how we can. I'm trying to wrap my mind around how we sell Pat McAfee's offense versus Gunther. Like I'm recalling the Adam Cole match in NXT where it made sense because they're of similar stature, but with Gunther as this killer, I can't buy it right now. But there's little tea leaves in Pat McAfee's promo, and I know Boza was alluding to this, like how his schedule is looking for college football and the things that are coming up, that it sounded like he was trying to write his goodbyes in his promo, that if he goes out and he dies, that he hopes people says he was a hard worker that gave back to all these charitable acts and different things, and that he hopes that's how he's remembered. So Gunther could be sending Pat to upper room. The same thing we just saw with Sammy. I believe Sammy took, 4 spears in a matter of minutes in that match with Braun Breaker because he turned down Seth's offer, didn't like being threatened. And we saw the same thing that happened at the hands of Braun and Seth that happened with Kevin Owens at Elimination Chamber, is that Sammy's going to be on the shelf for the foreseeable future. And this new faction, which I don't know what we're calling them yet, is running Monday Night Raw. So I think the natural protagonist of this will probably be Cody, who is Mr. WWE and Mr. Good Guy. I expect that to happen sometime soon. And I'm pretty sure we're going to get a draft sometime right after Backlash kicks off in another week from this upcoming Saturday. But Braun Breaker being billed as just this killer, this Punisher, it's perfect. He doesn't need to talk much. Paul Heyman and him just need to look, and Seth just needs to point and say, like, hey, take this guy out. It's exactly what we thought we were going to get with the final boss dictating John to take out whomever. And for whatever reason, we're not doing that, because whatever is happening backstage, whatever damage control Dwayne did last week, whatever politicking is going on, we know there's a power struggle backstage, and this is the program we're given. So we got Gunther with Pat, Jay with Logan, until we get a draft and make more sense of the roster. And of course, Roman, Punk will probably end up doing some buddy cop stuff to take on Seth and Braun sometimes down the road. And I can only hope that they add another member, and I hope it's a young guy. I hope it's like Austin Theory or something like that, or somebody that can really use it. I do like that Becky Lynch is back to kind of increase the notoriety of the Intercontinental title program, and her countryman Lyra. I think that was Lyra's best promo. I think this will be one of the best programs we get out of Lyra with Becky, and we'll finally get the Intercontinental title, the mid-card title for the women that we just got here on a PLE. If anything was a win on Monday Night Raw tonight, that's a win. That is a win. That title will be on a PLE for the first time since it was won at Saturday Night Main Event. I think actually, I don't even know if it was on Saturday Night Main Event. That might have been Monday Night Raw where the U.S. title was on Saturday Night Main Event. So it's a win. It's a big win. And I think for Lyra, we'll see her best character work because she's with somebody who she can emote with in Becky Lynch. But that was Monday Night Raw. Like I said, we got Otis taking on Rusev next week. We have Penta taking on JD McDonough. I'm pretty sure we'll get some more back and forth with the New Day and the War Raiders. And since neither like John Orton or anybody that were there, I expect them on Friday this week. And I expect more stuff to take place with Logan and Jay as we build out that Saturday Night Main Event card, and as the Backlash card comes approaching very rapidly. But I appreciate y'all for rocking with me. Fernando, Boza, Big Bang Mac, Courtney, Honey, who else was in here? Tanya. A lot of y'all rocking me for these past couple hours. You guys make this enjoyable for me to do. I love the engagement. I love the back and forth. Make sure you keep it locked. We got a lot of content coming out here over the next course of the next few weeks, especially with Queen in the Ring coming back around. We're going to double back and re-release a lot of those interviews. We got a lot of stuff that we got from WrestleCon and WrestleMania weekend and week that we're going to repurpose and post. But yeah, You can find me on the Twitter streets at Says, just like it shows on the screen, on the gram at Cedistheanswer, and of course here Monday nights, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Until next time, y'all, for WWT Live, this has been the Monday Night Mayor, and I'm signing off for now. Peace.
Thanks for joining WWT. Don't forget to like us on all social media platforms at wwtalkpod. Like and subscribe on all video and audio platforms, like yesterday, my G. And check out our website at wwtalkpod.com. Thanks for watching Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's wrestling network on the planet.